Morning, Linda. Morning, Caroline. Morning, morning. Morning, Karen. Are you at your mum's? Are you at home? Morning, Joan. Morning, Luke. Have a great day yourself. Hopefully the sun will shine today. But looks a bit miserable in Bucks. Yeah, hopefully we'll get some sunshine today. Maybe. Who else have we got? Say hello if you're there. So today we're going to do a caged arrangement, and caging just basically means a shape around an arrangement. So it tends to be, I'm going to be using Midello Sticks, which are these, and you can buy them from Florist wholesalers. You get them online, eBay and Amazon both sell them. This is from a company called Floriberia.com. Floriberia, Floriberia.com. But I don't know if I bought them from them. I probably got them from a wholesaler, I would think. Can't remember. Ah, good. So this is what I'm going to be using for caging today. But you can use bear grass, you can use pampas grass, although pampas grass is very sharp on the edge. So if you use pampas grass, be very careful because it's got razor sharp edges and you can really cut, like paper cuts, you get nasty paper cuts from it. So tend not to use that. Bear grass is better, but the problem is when I buy bear grass, I have to buy like 5 bundles of it. I can't just get 1 bundle of bear grass, so I wouldn't use enough of it during a week. So I can't buy 5 bundles of bear grass because these 5 big bundles, bigger than this, to show you how to use it. So when I'm buying it in for something, a wedding or a party or something, then I'll show you something with bear grass. But for this purpose, we're going to use Midello Sticks. Alright, so that's what these are. We're going to use that for the caging. The flowers I'm using today are all grown in my garden, bar 1 stem, which I might use later. So this is cardinal red lobelia, and it's like an upright lobelia, not like the blue fluffy one you get for hanging baskets, but it's the same family. If you look at the flower, it's exactly the same, but it's just red, and it's on an upright stick. It doesn't flow down. I've got Rudbeckia, and that came in when I ordered some summer bedding. It came in the summer bedding, and it's just been flowering lovely. I'll definitely buy some more of that because it's great for cut flowers. It comes on big long stems. When you cut it, you get another one. This one is Hypericum berries, and you can buy that in Florist, but it also grows really well in the UK. You get like a little yellow flower, and then when the flower's gone, you get these lovely sort of autumn sort of berries. And I've got some sedums, which I'm going to use for grouping at the bottom, and I've got some globe thistles, which some of you saw in some of the arrangements I was cutting the other day, and the bees absolutely love these. They sort of turn inside out and they become really blue. These are them before they've gone blue, but once you cut them when they're blue, you don't get any life out of them after that. So I tend to cut them before they've turned inside out and turned really blue. So for cutting purposes, they're quite good for that. And greenery wise, I've got this is clematis. I've got lots of clematis in my garden, so I'm using that. And if you get sort of like long tendrils, they sort of obviously wind around each other. Morning, Paulette. They kind of turn around each other, so they sort of make themselves thicker, if you see what I mean. So a very thin stem becomes quite a fat stem because they've all joined round each other, so you get 2 or 3 stems. So that's quite nice. So you can use those, and you can use that, and it's quite, although that was a drapey down one, because there's 2 sort of bundled together or taped together with a tendril, they stand upright, so you can use those, so they're quite nice. And the other foliage I'm using is Pittosporum, which again is all from my garden. and a bit of yew, which isn't from my garden, but it's from a neighbour's garden who gave me some stuff last week. So a bit of yew, pittosporum, and the clematis. Okay, so they're the colours that I'm going to be using. And I'm also going to use a bit of my reindeer moss and some red sisal. Because we've got the red cardinal lobelia, I'm going to use a bit of that. It's just to give another texture, another dimension. Okay, so we'll add that towards the end. So we'll get cracking. So we've got one block of oasis, which I've cut. So I've got 2/3, and then the last third I've cut into 3, if you like. So I've got 2 sections. So these are just going to back up the... So I've just taken 2 slices off the top. Morning, Carol. And I'm going to put those just to jam in the oasis. So I've lined my dish, my bowl. I got this bowl from B&M's, £2.50, if you like these. Morning, morning, morning. And I've just lined it with... I've just lined it with cellophane, and I'm going to put the 2/3 in, and then I'm going to wedge my 2 other pieces just down the side, because you want a bit of stability just around the edge. So just look at where your front is. Your front is here, obviously. So just make it even. So just put these down just to wedge it in. And you don't even really need pop tape on that. It'll probably stay there, but we'll put a bit of pop tape on. And then all the cellophane around the edge. Just get rid of all the cellophane that you're going to see. And then we'll put a bit of pop tape over the top. A nice clean bit. If it's been open for a while, it won't stick. This isn't going to stick today, is it? No. So we'll get some nice clean bits. Better. All right, so you get a nice bit of tape, oasis tape, going over. This is just your pot tape, just to keep it secure. Morning, Jennifer. So that's your front of your arrangement. Although it's just going to be fairly all around, but that's going to be. Also, I've got a little stem of red rose, spray rose, so I might put those in as well. So I've got my flowers here. So we're just going to do a little bit of greenery around the edge. You want to leave a bit of space, because you're going to put your cage in around the space as well. So we're just going to use a little bit of the yew first, just to put around the edge. Let me move it over a bit so you can see it better. So we're just going to put a little bit of yew around the edge. This is lovely for arrangements, lovely in Christmas arrangements, the yew. It lasts for ages. It's great in wreaths. One of my favourites. And it's nice and soft to work with as well. This is what I've got, so I'm just going to use that. Just around the edge. I don't waste anything, me. So if I've got a bit like that, which is a bit woody, I would still use it. So just a bit around the edge. And then some pittosporum. This is the pittosporum. Again, sorry about that. It's frozen. Yeah, I know. I'm not even on the internet. I'm on mobile data, so I don't know why it keeps going off. Really sorry. We'll carry on anyway. Hopefully it'll... So I've just put a tiny little bit of pittosporum around the edge. Just around the edge. And we're going to put just a little bit through the next layer. So one bit of pittosporum goes quite a way. I'm just going to just go up a layer. Just put a few bits in here. You can see it better now. Hopefully it won't go off again. So just a few bits on the next layer. So you're just going up a layer, and you're going inside your outer layer. You don't want it doesn't want to be further out than your first layer. So when you do this type of arrangement, that's what you want. So just going round, you can see it's just a nice level amount. You just give it, and just keep coming back to your front, because this is your front where your pattern is on the front. If you didn't hear what I said, I got this pot from B&M's. £2.50, and I had loads of them in there, so I've used quite a few of these. I use them in arrangements, and for orders, they're great for orders. So that's probably enough. So we want to leave some room for our caging as well, which we do at the end. Alright, morning Rosemary, morning Nicola. Okay, right, so we're going to carry on quickly. I don't want it to freeze again, I don't know why it keeps doing that. So just bring the front round to the, so you've got your pattern at the front, and just have a look at it. So now we're going to put our height in. So we're going to use the lobelia. This is the lobelia. So we're just going to put these through the middle. So that's going to be your height. That's going to be your top one. That's going to be your highest one. So these are all cut from the garden this morning. And then going down a little bit. Down again, making sure you get rid of all of your leaves. So we need to sort of stagger them down a bit. So you've got 1, 2, 3. These you've got 1, 2, 3 going down. And then we're going to put 2 at the side as well, because I've got them. You could just use 3. But I want this to sort of to be seen sort of from 3/4 of the way around. And again, just make sure it's at a different height. So go down a little bit more. I've got a little short one here. I'll just use that at the back. So you're just staggering them, different heights, all the way around. What would you call this type of? Well, I mean, it's just, it's kind of like a front facing or a circular arrangement, but I'm calling it a cage arrangement because I'm going to put a cage around it. All right, so that's what. It's kind of a. It's kind of a front facing, I suppose. And these are the Rebecca, and again these are growing in my garden, so we're just going to dot a few of those around. And these are great if you cut flowers. They've got nice hard stems. They're a bit furry, but apart from that they're okay. So I'm just going to dot these around. See how hard the stem is? They're really good. They're great for cut flowers. So just keep bringing the front round. I think we'll have one at the frontish as well. This one's a little bit softer. Yeah, maybe we'll wire this one. So you'd wire it exactly the same as you would a gerbera. I've shown you lots of times. Just put the wire up into the head, hold the flower, the wire in the other hand, and just twist all the way down the flower stem. Morning, Sue. I'll just give it a bit of stability. See, so now it actually sits where you want it to sit. So it's looking a bit like a garden, really, I suppose. Then I've got my sedums. These are sedums. So we're going to have these nice and low. Get rid of all the leaves. These are a succulent, so the stem is quite good. It's nice and hard. We're going to put these towards the front at the bottom. So again, these grow really easy in your garden. Morning, Diane. So cut these and put these in your garden. They're brilliant. I'm just going to have 3 of these around the bottom. So you can see they really fill in lovely. So get rid of all the leaves. You don't want any of the leaves in your oasis. And make sure you get a nice clean diagonal cut. So we've got our 3 around the bottom. So you could do them grouped because they're quite big. You probably don't need that with this type of arrangement. And then we'll use the rose for now. Then we've got our little globe thistles. And be careful, these are a bit spiky. Just get rid of the leaves that you don't want. The leaves go a bit brown on these, so it's quite nice to get rid of them if you use them in an arrangement. Just dot those through the bottom. See, the leaves are a bit brown, so they don't look too good in the arrangement. Get rid of any of the leaves that are going in the oasis. One there. A nice sort of bluey green. Few more rudbeckias. I'm going to keep them for the end. Oh, I've got one more thistle. I thought I had 3 thistles. Let's put the other one in. Again, nice diagonal cut. Put one down the bottom. So we've got a nice flow. And remembering that obviously this is your front, so keep looking at your front all the time. So bring it round and make sure it's you've got everything where you want. So we're going to use a bit of the clematis as well. I'll just put that in for a bit of height and a bit of variation. That's a really thick one, I think. As I said before, these grow together, so they're quite handy in some ways because they split. This is the one I was showing you where you've got 2 together, and these grow downwards. But because the tendrils have bound them together, it's made it nice and strong. So we're going to put that through the top as well, just for a bit of something different, a different texture, a bit of floatiness. You need different textures whenever you're doing arrangements, otherwise they can look a bit staid and a bit old-fashioned really. I like things to flow. You have to pull it apart a bit. Get rid of any top bits that don't look very nice. So you've got nice leaves at the top, and we'll have that to the side. And this is the one that grows. Is it called? I've forgotten which one it is now. The one that grows a lot, mon something. It's very fast growing. It grows all over my oil tank. So again, you've got a nice different type of flowiness. And we'll put a bit at the back as well. Make the back look as pretty as the front if you can. Just separate those. Give that a bit of floatiness there too. Too many leaves on the bottom, that's why it doesn't want to go in the oasis. It doesn't go in, just take it out and have a look why it doesn't go in. It's probably because you've got a leaf there or something. So you've got a bit of interest all the way around, but it's mainly from the front, so it's sort of 3/4 front facing, if you like. Morning Suzanne, morning Diane. So that's that. Let's get everything out of the way. So that's more or less there for the arrangement. Oh, we've got some I've got the Hypericum. I'll just put the Hypericum berries in as well. Put a few of those in. You probably don't need all these leaves, otherwise it'll get too clumpy. And again, with Hypericum, sometimes the leaves go a bit brown, so I tend to get rid of the leaves. Just have the berries. So that's the berries. So they're really pretty. And again, they grow with a lovely, pretty yellow flower. And then when the flowers go in, you get these lovely berries. I recommend you grow this in your garden because it is a very easy one to grow. My bush has been there about 4 years now, and it gives loads of these. That's like one little branch, and there's probably 50 of those now, I'd say. And on each one of these, you get obviously so many different bits you can cut off and use in your arrangements. So we'll have a few of those. Maybe one down the bottom. You could use that nice, it's like a little fan, look, use that fan at the back. We haven't got a lot of interest at the back. We can put one through the top there. And again, because they have this sort of floaty stem that bends round, they arch well. They arch well around. So they sort of have a nice flowy texture to them. So there we go. So that's kind of the arrangement. I'm just going to put a bit of greenery here. See where the pot tape is, because we don't want to see the pot tape. So I'll put a bit more oasis, a bit more greenery here, because I want to hide the tape if we can. Never want to see your mechanics. So a bit this side as well, just to hide the tape. All right, so you shouldn't see the tape too much now. Okay. A little bit of the mess. Right, so we've probably got enough at the moment for that. Now we're going to do the caging. But you know what, I didn't put any of the sides in. I'm going to put a bit of sisal in first. I want to leave the caging right till last, because you won't be able to. This is sisal, and it comes in a bag, 500-gram bag. I'll show you here. This is sisal. And I've got some material in here as well. And it comes in, it's a bit like, I don't know, nesting, I suppose. It looks like nesting. The birds, if I ever put this in my hanging baskets, the birds always pinch it for their nest. So they obviously think it's nice, easy. But it's, if you look and put it towards your arrangement, you can see it brings another dimension, another colour. And this comes in all colours. I use it a lot at Christmas. And you literally can just put it through the centre. Just pull it and play with it. Get it nice and floaty. But because we're putting a cage on this, we don't need to pin it in, but otherwise you would probably pin it in with a wire. So just put a little bit around the edge. Just needs a little bit, just as another colour. See that little bit of red coming through. You don't need much. This whole bag lasts for ages if you buy a bag. I don't think you can get mixed bags if you're a beginner. You have to buy quite big bags of it. But have a look online. There might be people that do split bags, or because it does come in lovely colours. I've got a lovely pink one I use a lot. So again, just put a little tiny bit. You don't need much. It's just a little accent of colour. You can see there how pretty it looks with the yellows and the reds and the blues and the greens. There we go. So just move it all the way around. There's a little bit extra at the back, but then that's just to fill in. Don't think we need it. So that's enough. So that's the front of your range. So you could just leave it like this, and that would be a perfect arrangement to send out to somebody. But as I say, I'm going to show you the caging now. Down the counter, make it nice and tidy-ish. I didn't use the rose in the end, so this is all from the garden. So that's a really good effort. Right, so now I'm just going to use our Midello Sticks, and we're going to put these in. So you need to find a little gap at the bottom and just feed them through. It's a bit fiddly. Just feed them all the way through, making sure they're going into the oasis. Just about an inch or so. You need at least 8, probably. Depends on the size of your arrangement, but just go around, put them in, just feed them into the oasis, a couple of inches. And this will obviously hold all the sisal in as well, which is great. So we'll have another one there. So I think maybe one more there. Keep turning it around, see if they're even. and then you just grab hold of all the tops. Just pull them all up one at a time. Make like a little wigwam at the top. Just wigwam them up. Now I'll just see if it looks even. What you can do is, if one looks like it's not coming out enough at the bottom, then just feed it out. So just hold it at the top. Have a look at your arrangement and think, I think we're going to put another one here, because I think I've got a few more at the back than I put at the front. So put one more in here. You've got to try and hold on with one hand and feed in with the other. Better. That's probably about right. If I need I quite like it with the sort of opening at the front, so you can kind of see the arrangement at the front. So I think we'll leave it like that, because I'm quite happy with that. But just play about with them until you've got them where you want them. You want it to look sort of baggy, like a cage, like a bird cage, I suppose. You can always tie it and then fiddle about with them if you don't like this one. I think needs to come round a bit more. Okay, and then we need a bit of tie or a bit of tape just to put around the top, just to secure them. Just got a bit of pot tape, but you could use a bit of tie, a bit of ribbon, whatever you like. Doesn't really matter. You just tie it at the top. There we go. So that's your caging. So you've got your little wigwam at the top. I'm off to make one. I love it. Right, and then we're just going to trim the tops so it looks a bit more even. And then I thought it might be quite pretty to put a little flower on the top. So I've got my glue gun here. So I've got my glue gun on, and I'm just going to put one of these little small rudbeckias, because these are quite hardy. So I'm just going to cut him off. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back. My glue gun's been over here, it's been on, it's hot. So we're just going to keep that nice and flat. So get it nice and flat on the back. So you've got it nice and flat, as flat as you can. And then we're going to stick that to the pop tape at the top. So a nice big blob of glue. And then we're going to put that, you see. Right, so make sure it's at the front. You've got your pattern at the front. And then we're just going to stick that up there. Just hold it there for a couple of minutes, or a couple of seconds really, just till it takes. On the front, so you're not really squashing the flower. There we go. We've got a little flower at the top. So quite a nice little finish. You could put ribbons on there. You could put You could put a little butterfly there. A little butterfly sort of sitting here would be quite nice as well. So we put a butterfly in. I've got no butterfly. Sorry, went off again. Right, I found a little butterfly. These ones are ones with little clips. They've got little clips on them, so you can just clip it. So it's hovering up to the flower. There we go. Maybe put it on the other side. Make it look a bit more even. There we go. So there we go. That's a caged arrangement. Hope you liked it. It's very simple, but I say you can do this. I don't know why it's saying trying to reconnect, because I'm not even on the Wi-Fi today. I'm on. Anyway, I could quickly show it to you. There we go, because it's going to probably go off again. So that's the front. That's the back, sorry. That's the front. And that's our little butterfly at the top. Alright. I guess you need a spray bottle. There's a spray bottle to water it through the cage. You don't need to, Mum, because it's in Oasis. You don't need to spray anything because they're all drinking out of Oasis, so there's water in the pot. All right, so you don't need to spray anything. Little flower at the top, maybe you could spray if you wanted to. Is that what you mean? You could do if you wanted to, but I think it'd last quite a while. There we go. So that's my caged arrangement, all with flowers grown from my garden. So I hope you liked it. And I'll put a picture on the website later so you can see it. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Carol. Glad you liked it. So, where's the front? There's the front. So, have a go. Have a go. Somebody said they're going to go off and make one. Let me see yours. If you make one, let me see yours. I'd love to see what you do. All right. Have a lovely day. Hopefully the sun will shine later, and I'll see you next week. Bye. If you've answered any questions, I'll answer them later. Bye. Have a great day.